Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're the hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every day, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can view all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues that affect you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
On to the January 15th, 2025 Police and Fire Commission meeting. First order of business is the call to order. The second item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 3 is the approval of minutes. All those in favor of approving the minutes from December 18th, 2024? Or any discussion, I should say. First.
I first start off by saying I reviewed the minutes and I will make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. It's been properly moved in second. All those in favor of the minutes from the December 18, 2024, if you would approve by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
I was not in attendance, so I will stay out.
Thank you. Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Next, we move on to item 4, public appearances for non-agenda items. We have no one present. And with that being said, we will move on to item number 5, the report from the police department.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year as well. It's our first meeting of the year. We're going on to the staffing report. As you can see, we're still down 3 vacancies. 2 officers are on field training, and we have 1 on leave or restricted duty. I call it limited duty. And that leaves us with 6 unfilled positions. I haven't seen this in a long time, and what I mean by a long time, in a couple of years, that we're down to 6 unfilled positions. The 2 officers that are in field training, give or take a couple of more months, they're going to be on their own. And hopefully with the restricted leave, we can get that person back out on the road, which will leave us down to 3 vacancies. And those 3 vacancies and 3 unfilled positions means we're going to be at the closest to full complement of officers out on the street that we have been in the last 3 years. So we're very happy to see that. Everybody seems to be healthy, knock on wood, even some of them with some surgeries that came up and family leave for growing families. They're all back out and doing their job, so we're happy for that. As far as our overtime report, nothing there for me to really say is standing out. If you look at the total overtime hours in December 2023 to 2024, well, we have more. Our staffing is getting closer to being up to speed and being out on the street, which is showing that part. And we're doing a pretty decent job. As you can see, when I move on to the to our monthly report, We are pretty active, which when you're active, you're going to have some overtime and just handling the calls for service. So there's nothing there that is really striking or something that I can comment on unless you have any questions.
So again, one note is just that in December, it looks like there were $1,000 of overtime, which is the equivalent of a half of an FTE full-time, right, Sarah? Oh, sure. For overtime hours in December, we're around 1,000 hours total of overtime. That's roughly the equivalent of one half of a full-time equivalent employee, right?
Yep.
And that just strikes me, and I know it's struck us in the past as, we're doing what we can to fill these spots, but there's more opportunity for more positions within the police department, I think.
Well, absolutely. And at the beginning of the year, I will tell you this. If you're just looking at the 15 cities in the state of Wisconsin that have a population of 30,000 to 50,000, Fitchburg is the 15th out of those cities, those 15 cities in staffing. So we're about 35,000 in population, and our budgeted sworn is 55 sworn, and that leaves us at 1.56 officers. The highest is 100 sworn for 49,000, and that's 2.2. So just to put things in perspective, the city of Manitowoc is 34,473 in population. They have 65 sworn, and that gets them at 1.89 per thousand. So I can share with you this if you got. I have one copy, but that's I just received that from the Wisconsin Police Executive Group earlier this week, or at the end of last week, I believe. What I am happy with is the teamwork that's going on with our young officers, the willingness to want to stay and work the extra hours and do what's out there. We have a team that's pretty energized, and part of that is when you come in young, you're full of energy, and sometimes by the time you have, which was many of the people who left, and the turnover were people that had 25 plus years or 20 plus years, and as you get older, you get slower. So the transition has been helping us, but you're 100% correct. We're still short in staffing.
Any other questions? Discussion? Commissioner O'Day, I would recommend that we turn the chair over to you now that you're present before proceeding with the agenda.
All right, if you'd like. I am having trouble logging into the agenda here.
I have a copy if you'd like it.
Would you mind?
Absolutely.
Until I can get connected, thank you.
How about until you get connected? We'll keep moving the agenda. Okay. Next up on the agenda, item 6, report from the fire department.
I think I have the report also of the monthly report, or do we report on that?
So you didn't include the activity report for the packet. So
Okay.
We just had the staffing report and the overtime report.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Good evening. As of December 31st, and I hope that, actually, could you just scroll down a little,
Yep.
Sarah, I want to make sure that they got the updated one. Okay, so, I'm sorry. Go ahead, you can go back up to the top.
Okay.
When I get down to, I wanted to make sure that I had the right one on my screen here too. But as far as calls for service, as you can see for the month of December, we were up 5%. So total, at the end of the year, we were up 244 calls over the year prior, which was a 9.2% increase in call volume. As you can see, not much of a change when it comes to our most common calls per month. We were down when it comes to like the still alarm numbers when it comes to false alarms, and this is a testament to the hard work that our fire prevention division is doing, is we're down 135 false alarm calls this year. So that's a good sign, but where did we make up the 244? Well, that comes in with the EMS calls, car crashes, and then other types of fire calls that we responded to. So that's our breakout for calls for the month. If you could move down, Sarah, please. Keep going. Okay. Breakdown of our staffing report. The 19 for firefighters under POX actually should be 20. You approved 2 POX members last month. So there's a typo there, so that should be 20, where 19 is for POX firefighters. So currently we are sitting at 54 members altogether on the department. We did do the promotion of the 2 lieutenants. Lieutenant Matt Sutter and Lieutenant Scott Westfall were promoted. They're both longtime members of the department, actually started off as POX members, were hired full-time, and now are 2 new lieutenants. We are currently in POX firefighter recruitment, also first-year intern firefighter recruitment, and then, as we'll talk more tonight, the fire chief recruitment process. In the end, in December, we were down a little in our overtime numbers at 572, and then also down slightly in our mandates at 7, over 8 from the month prior, to end out with a total of 50 mandates for the year. With that, are there any questions?
Hearing none, let's move to item 6A for closed session. I'll take us into closed session. Pursuant to section 19.85, subsection 1, subsection E, Wisconsin statutes, the commission will move into the closed session for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, more specifically to review and discuss the application scoring and evaluation criteria to be used for the competitive recruitment process of fire chief. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, we're in closed session.
All right, we have exited closed session and are moving to agenda item 6C. Is there any action out of closed session? Hearing none, what we will do is come back to fire chief recruitment at our next regularly scheduled meeting. Thanks to Sarah's good work and others' good work, we are ahead of schedule. Thank you everyone for the continued discussions. Thank you to the fire service for their input, and please do continue to provide that input. Thank you to any citizens that are reaching out as well. We appreciate that. And we'll move to agenda item number 7. Any announcements? Okay, then agenda item number 8 is adjournment. I will move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. We're adjourned.